Welcome to CalCast, your Create International podcast. God Network News, where we give you a new perspective
on events happening in our world today.
This is GNN.
This is God Network News, episode 233. Welcome, GNN fans, to another episode of God Network News, the podcast that tells you what God's doing around the world. Not what CNN tells you, but what GNN tells you is going on in the world. If you're tired of listening to all of that crisis network news and you want to hear what God's doing, well, give us a listen. Welcome, Pastor Samuel, to God Network News. It's really great to meet you again in person, actually not just on a Zoom call, but in person. It's lovely to meet you and hear of all the amazing stories that God's doing through your ministry amongst the Unreached Peoples in Niger and also Nigeria. And I'm joined today with my lovely wife, Carol Conkey. Say hi, Carol.
Hello, we're here in Kenya at the Catalyst Camp.
Yeah, the Catalyst Camp is an exciting place where we get to meet movement leaders from around the world, but specifically from Africa. And it's amazing what God is doing here, and we're going to hear just a little bit of it today. Pastor Samuel, you were mentioning to us that you are doing some work amongst the Fulani people in Niger. Could you tell us a little bit about that and maybe how that got started?
Thank you, Calvin and Carol, for the privilege given to me to have a few moments with you. Like you have rightly mentioned, Samuel Ahia is my name, from Nigeria, from the northern part of Nigeria. We've been involved in missions for not less than 25 years, and but as a ministry for the past 19 years. So among the tribes that we are reaching in the northern part of Nigeria, the Niger Republic, are the Fulani. Fulani is one of the largest people group in Nigeria. We have over 17 million Fulani in Nigeria, but across West Africa, virtually all the countries within West Africa, you have the Fulani. So our major target among the Fulani are the Fulani found in Niger Republic. And we've taken time praying, trusting the Lord for the harvest of the Fulani. But the last 5 years, one of the oldest men among the Fulani in a village called Isu was sick. And when he was sick, one of our missionaries went, carried him, took care of him. Having taken care of him, brought him to Nigeria. He was hospitalized for good 3 weeks. Wow. And within the 3 weeks of the hospitalization, brethren were going in, taking care of him, providing whatever that was needed until he was well. So when he was back to his village, that is the Ruga is the Fulani settlement. When he was back to the village, one day he gathered his 36 children and stood up, looked up, then sideways, and he told them that he has accepted Jesus. And Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And he is advising and encouraging all his sons and daughters to also accept Jesus, because he wants, where he's going to, he wants to also meet with them. Then,
that's amazing.
Yeah, so having mentioned that, he sat down, gathered his leg, and he passed on. He died.
Oh, he died right there on the spot after speaking to them and saying, you need to follow Jesus.
He died. So when after that, the children were so amazed.
You're listening to God Network News Podcast with your host, Cal Curtis. Look up our website at godnetworknews.com.
They ran to the base where our missionary Ali was, and they called him, and Ali now gathered the entire family, the children, their wives, their grandchildren. 115 of them were led to Christ.
115 Fulanis that were from a Muslim background,
Yes, they were
all together and came,
all of them.
gave their lives to the Lord. That's incredible.
Amen. So we started that work from that opening that we have seen. But what brought the paradigm shift was having been introduced to you last year during the Catalyst camp. We met with a few people, and that was our connection.
Yes,
The online connection started last year. So one of the demands we made was the issue of the audio Bible.
Right, audio Bible players.
Yeah, so you were able to send us the Kulumi
Yes.
and device, because the Fulani, this set of people that we are reaching, 100% of them, they are unlettered. They don't know how to read nor write, but they are very good listeners.
Yeah.
They are known with radio in the West Africa. They can listen to radio from morning till midnight.
Oh my.
As they are taking care of their cattle, they are also listening to radio. They move from BBC Hausa to Voice of America Hausa, from there to Deutsche Welle, all the media houses. They move from one and all of that.
Wow.
So we now saw that as a very good opening. If they can have a device that they can hear the gospel preach in full day, it will be very helpful. So you send us some 50 copies. We were able to take them to the Fulani. So the first day we arrived, one of the Ardos came to welcome us. That was during this last Christmas outreach 2020.
And what is the August again? What does that mean?
Ardo means the leader, the one that knows the way and also shows the way. That is the literal meaning. But that means the chief.
Yes.
So, and in their context, whatever the Ardo decide, everybody accepts.
Wow.
Because Ardo means the one that knows the way and also leads the way. So when he's leading, everybody follows. So when this Ardo came, welcome us, we decided to give him one of the Kulumi. I said, go and listen to it. So he went back to his Ruga, that's the village. Yeah. Ruga means their village, their settlement. So he went back, listened to it from around 7 till after 12 midnight. Then first thing in the morning, he brought others to also listen with him. Then before 10 o'clock, he came with 10 women, 7 men. And among these very men that he brought, 2 of them are also Ardo.
Wow.
Meaning they were chiefs also from other communities. And that's how we started DBS. After the DBS, we led them to Christ. Then of course the question is, who do you want also to hear? So from the Kulumi engagement, the audio Bible that we gave them, which we inserted the Fulfulde, that's the Fulani language, and also Hausa, they were able to also reach out to others. So today, from that very effort, we are able to plant 8 churches.
Wow.
Among
8 new churches.
8 new churches, and all of them were Muslims before.
Wow, that is amazing, brother. That's amazing. We will definitely send that news on to Hope Tech Global that makes these units.
Amen. We will need more of these because they are in their hundreds of thousands. And they are nomads. They move from one place to another. So, and one good thing about the Kulumi device is that sometimes they gather in a cluster and play it, listen to it. So the more we have, the more the coverage as well. So we need more and more of those devices because, like I've earlier mentioned, they don't know how to read nor write. So they are oral learners.
Wow, very good, very good. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider donating to help us continue to bring exciting stories fresh from the field. Visit our website at godnetworknews.com and select the PayPal link on the right side of the page, or consider becoming a Patreon partner to receive access to more valuable materials exclusive to our members.